That's right. That's right.
Some blacks had already fled their masters.
You on their ass.
Emerging as the Gullah people of South Carolina. Them motherfuckers been there for hundreds of thousands of years.
You on their ass, bro. You on their ass. Oh.
Now look what it say. They kept a few of their African traditions and remnants of their language alive. Remember we talked about speaking pidgin?
Yeah.
Right? They were lured by the Spanish. See what they're saying, right? The Spanish promises of wages if the blacks would agree to join the Spanish garrisons of Florida. Now, why wouldn't the fuck would we join the enemy?
Right.
But they wasn't passing themselves off as Spaniards. They was passing themselves off as Moors.
Yeah.
The Gullah and other blacks both escaped slaves and freedmen. That's two classifications in law.
That's right.
Soon discover that army life wasn't any better than slavery.
Look at it, bro. Look at it.
That's just on the first page in the discussion of the Gullah Wars. Now they telling you right here, this is how you know the enemy telling us the story. Some blacks had already fled their masters, emerging as the Gullah people. Ask any motherfucker that's Gullah get you, where the fuck they come from before 1492, and they gonna point to the same part of the country.
Yep. Yep.
There is commemorative buildings on islands just off the coast down there that very few people even know exist. Off the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina.
Like Jekyll Island is like off of Georgia, right?
I forgot where Jekyll Island was.
Jekyll Island. It's like off of Chester, Georgia, I think. So
okay, let's move on to the next page. We in class now. We might as well go break this shit on down.
You cracking heads, man. You twisted caps.
Okay. Let's see the picture at the top so we can see what we talk about.
It's cut off right there.
It's cut off right there. Okay. One such man was John Horse or Gopher John. That tells me he was indigenous. If his name was Gopher John, he was probably a tunnel rat.
Yep. Yep. A twa.
The son of a Seminole father and an escaped slave mother. He was considered a slave by both whites and natives. That's a contradiction right there.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Nominally, he belonged to Chief McCanopy, a skilled warrior who could speak English. He was useful to the Seminoles as the interpreter and often joined forces with the Osceola. Osceola, now you see they keep adding tribes in here, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. I ain't the only one seeing this, right?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Okay, Osceola may have been married to a black woman. This is the name of a tribe, by the way, Osceola. They trying to pass it off as a person here. So sources aren't definite on this point. He abhorred the idea of slavery. What I tell you, we didn't do that shit. That's not our culture.
Yeah. And
was willing to work with John and another black Seminole leader, Abraham. I wonder if that's Lincoln.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. The Lincoln that they said that made white.
The real Lincoln was he was from Barbados.
Yeah, I got you.
Right? To make sure that the blacks were not used as bargaining chip in treaties with the whites. So now we got to go back to who making treaties with the white folks.
Yeah, go back with it.
It ain't us. This telling you right here that we ain't the ones doing the treaties.
Damn, go ahead. The Moors making the treaties.
Look, it's like this, man. You come pick me up at my grandmama's house. You say, hey, we finna go move in these people's house, but I need you to act like you belong there and sign the paperwork.
Yeah.
That's what they did. All right, let's keep going. Scroll down on that picture so we can see the bottom of it. Okay, it's requiring natives to disclose the whereabouts of black Seminole villages or any promises to return black slaves to their former owners. Now, how are we going to go along with that if we are already against slavery? It's telling you right here that we don't agree with it, but they telling us to participate in it. Make that shit make sense.
That's some crazy shit, right?
Okay, you see the people right there. Those are Gullah. Get you.
Yep.
Man, you see he look like Chicken George, don't he?
Yep. Same people from that Bumpy Johnson from.
Mm-hmm.
The Geechies.
Okay, let's keep going. We just going over a little history, and we just saying. Mm-hmm.
Hey, ball clap disclaimer. Oh, this right, the same one we just read. Ball clap disclaimer, man. You cracking heads and twisted caps on this joint, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that cash app, man. We got the brother Rod Hayes cash app in the links, man. Come on with it, Rod. That's what you got, man. Let's hear what you got.
Go to the top of the page. Let's get it in.
All right, that's the top one right there.
That might be the second half of the next page.
Okay, hold up. Hold on, let me go back. I think we just read this one.
That's the one we just read.
Okay, then this right here, the next one.
Let's see the one after that just to make sure.
All right.
What it said about the last sentence.
It says Chief Makapu. Can't see that last word. Mike
McCanopy. Okay, you see their legs right there? That's the picture from the one before. So these two pictures is out of order.
Okay, so this right
This started off with the same things, telling you the same thing. John was captured with Osceola in October 1837 and sent to Fort Marion in St. Augustine. He and several other Seminole leaders, both black and native. Now you notice they are incorporating two groups of people, but they already told us that the so-called Seminoles was an admixture of tribes from across the land. All right. It said they starved themselves for several days, pried the bars off the windows of their common cell, and slipped away from the fort. With Osceola sidelined by captivity and later dead, a younger generation of leaders had to step up. This is our culture right here. Only after he was assured that his people would not be enslaved did John Horse agree to talk with the army. He and his band resettled in Oklahoma and later returned to Florida in 1840 in an attempt to talk Wildcat or Kuwakochi, a native Seminole leader, into surrendering. That don't make sense.
Yeah, we didn't surrender.
All right, but we're going to keep going. Kuwakochi agreed to do so in 1840, and he and John Horse accompanied Kuwakochi's people to Oklahoma. So they came from Oklahoma to get the people in Florida and take them back to Oklahoma. For this service, John was given his freedom by white authorities and personally by Chief McCanopy. All right, so that's what he did. That's who he sold out to get free from slavery. All right, let's go back to the other page. Okay, deserted and took up dwelling in the swamps of Florida where they would be inaccessible to slave catchers or Spanish authorities seeking to round up deserters. This page is still out of order, but we already read both sides of this page. The Spanish name for these runaways was Maroons. The Spanish name for these runaways was Maroons. Now watch this.
More rooms, more runs. Oh shit, go ahead.
First applied to the natives who had fled to Florida. May come from the Spanish word cimarron, meaning wild or runaway, but scholars differ on this application. At first, the identities in their own villages and means of tribal governance. As more settlers moved into Florida from the southern colonies, later states. Now, wait a minute. I keep telling y'all, we was the ones going to Florida. This is the stronghold of the war. The settlers were not, when they say settlers, they talking about conquistadors. They talking about Englishmen, Frenchmen, Dutchmen, and Spanish conquistadors who call themselves Moray or Moor. That's what they talking about.
Right.
They were infiltrating us, pretending to be captives. We realized it, and this is why we broke up the tribes. Watch this. Black and natives saw the need to join forces. While they maintained their own villages and camps, blacks and natives traded, coordinated on strategy for dealing with the whites and intermarried. Many blacks had mixed native ancestry and soon became regarded as Black Indians or Black Seminoles, half-breeds, mixed blood.
Yes, semi. Hey man, you like the Mike Tyson of the conscious community, man. You knocking niggas out, man. I tell you. You knocking niggas out, TK and all niggas, man. I tell you, man.
Okay, so let's
go ahead.
What we got left after this? Let's look at the picture, see if we can see the picture.
Okay. It's a feet, I think. Then
we went over that one already.
Yeah, I think it's this one right here. I don't think you read this one though.
Oh, I ain't read that one because I don't got no pictures on it.
Okay, all right.
You say, but more white settlers was pouring into the Plains states. Where's the Plains? The
Plains is mostly like in the South.
No, the Plains states is Montana, Oklahoma.
Yeah. The Midwest, the
right. The Midwest is Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio is the Midwest territory.
Okay.
All right. But they saying that the white settlers is pouring into the Plains states. Now, remember when I told you when we was coming to fight the wars, they was backdooring us on the heels of the Louisiana Purchase with $5 Indians. That's what they're talking about right here. Many of these people were from the South and wanted to bring Oklahoma into the Union as a slave state. That don't make sense.
Yeah, they playing games.
Look at what it say. They was filling in Oklahoma, and they wanted to turn it into a slave state. They also wanted to dispossess the natives of land they had been promised in return for agreeing to move west. Now, this is contemporary with what's going on in the negotiations. Look at the year, 1847. So we're right around the time of the Louisiana Purchase.
And about the same time as that war with the Mexicans, the U.S. war with the Mexicans going on.
The Mexico-American War is a little after this.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now this is the westward advance, because remember, they said that our property was abandoned, so they was putting settlers in our property.
Dang, this is crazy. Go ahead.
All right. So it's telling you here they wanted to dispossess the natives of the land. But why is they taking pale people out there then? Or so-called white people is to displace natives from the land.
Yeah.
But what did they list them as? They rewrote them in by the president made chiefs. How the fuck did that happen?
You're right.
That's not our culture. No elected official can't knight you a chief in our community.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to earn that position by motherfucking leveling up.
Hey man, let me ask you something right here. Man, so this is real crafty on how they usurped us. This is real. They had to have help, man. They wanted that intelligence to make this long drawn out plan to steal our shit.
Hey, what them said? Somebody was behind the motherfuckers' intelligence.
Long fucking drawn out plan. We're gonna start a war with them in Florida. Then we're gonna sneak in on them with the Louisiana Purchase. We're gonna have Lewis and Clark butt crack them, backdoor them, survey the land. Because we know that gold right there, see? That's that deposit. They got gold deposits all over this place.
Yeah, we ain't even got to the gold rush yet.
Yeah. Go ahead. I don't want to hold you. I just made a whole bunch of shit.
You good. Because you're saying you all the way on track to the elaborate nature of the plan. It's a military.
Yeah, it's fucking deep. Man.
Okay, so we can't understand protracted struggle because we familiar with what we call short bursts of military action, lasting anywhere from 2 to 5 years at most. But when you're talking about a struggle over several hundred years, this is just opportunities being seized by a person that's an invader in order to displace the ones that he's invading. It's all opportunistic when you're looking at the time and the layout of what's really going on versus what they're telling you. The only part that's making it functional is they got us to believe their side of the story is more true than our ancestors' side of the story.
That's right.
That's where we fucking ourselves at.
That's right.
So basically, when I be pointing shit out in these readings, it's because I can see the other side of what they really saying in they double speak, because they putting it out here, but you ain't paying attention to the reading with a forensic analysis like you working for the motherfucking government trying to indict
exactly. Like they examine your letter when you send that bitch out of prison. They gonna examine that bitch, even if you put it in another language, a cold language. They got niggas in there for that shit too.
Now, watch this. Okay, so now we know that they wanted to dispossess the natives of the land they had been promised in return for agreeing to move west. Uneasy at these developments, Kuakochi and John Horst gathered their people in 1847, fled across Texas and into Mexico. Okay, let's go to Google. We got to see if I can prove this. Because if I can prove this, they got some motherfuckers in Mexico that look like us. Put in Afro-Mexican.
Let me save them down in there. Yeah, hey, look, this right here coming up in my tapes too. The tapes that I'm putting out. These people you're going to talk about. So let me go and say these pictures. And we're going to pull them up.
I really want the one that say Afro-Mexican Pride right there.
Right. Let me see. Okay.
It's in the middle of the page.
Right there. Okay. Right. Is that the one right there? African Mexican Pride is in the middle of the page. Okay, right here. See, that's what you're saying right here. All right, let me blow it up. We're gonna blow a couple of them up for them. YouTube, we got you, man. Tell you, man. This right here is it's another piece to the puzzle right here.
Now, how in the fuck do I know about an Afro-Mexican?
Right? We getting backdoor, man. We got backdoor, bro.
Now, the only thing about studying these people's history that they don't have an answer for, would you happen to know what it is?
What?
They've been there so long, they can trace their history back into antiquity to tie directly to those pyramids down there.
Yeah.
They hush these people up. They don't want you to know that these is organic Mexicans that's been there for thousands of years.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man, this right here coming up in my tape. And if you look at her nose features, the Almacs, the Bantu people. She really like Bantu mixed with like Hindu or something. Like,
you got to remember, when you on this side of the water and you from the other side of the water, east or west, there's a mirror tribe over here on every landmass.
That's right. That's what I'm
saying. So you got a mirror tribe. One over here might be heavily melanated, but in Europe, they might be all pale.
Yeah.
But the culture is the same. Exactly the same rituals, practices, and they can psychically communicate, but they don't know that they communicate with each other because the enemy has taught us that we insane for doing it.
That's real. That's real. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let's look at some more of those before we go back to the. That ain't no straight-haired Mexican. What they doing? Somebody say y'all got to get these niggas.
Man, hey, you getting them, man. I'll tell you, these people right here, these are really the original people. Like they really are the original Almacs. I mean, not the Almacs. They Almacs too, but they really children. They really the original Aztec people, because the newborns they had came over here and they really the Bantu people.
Look, these is genetically different. That's
they got Asian in them. They got Asian. See, look, like you can look at the Asian comes from the Sands people. Look, yeah, they got Asian in them. I'm telling you, man. You can see that.
I love you, some young elder boy. I had this much fun studying with nobody since I left my man's Osa.
Yeah, so they got Asian in them, but it's a black Asian. Like I'm gonna tell you.
Listen to this right quick. Yeah. Listen to this right quick.
Yeah.
They tested the genetics of these people. I'm gonna bring this video back that I'm talking about as a receipt later. We're not gonna go to it right now.
They got Hindu.
I'm just gonna tell you this. They did blood tests on these people and compared them with numerous African tribes. And they are not from Africa. They classified this group of people as Negrito and called them Indo-Polynesians.
I can go with that. I can go with they not from Africa because
hold on.
Because this right
Indo-Polynesian is not the same as saying Neo-Polynesian.
Okay.
When you say Indo in front of a word, they say ancient. That means ancient.
Okay.
When you say Neo, that means more modern times. It's closer to now. So these people are Indo-Polynesians, which means they got an ancient ancestry, and the only people that have similar ancestry is the ones over here, the ones in Hawaii, Tonga, Samoan Islands, going down into Australia, and it's a different blood from Africans or Europeans.
Yeah, because they several mixes. They're a combination of several different people. Like,
but if they was a combination of several different people, Elder, they would then have the tracers of several different groups. They got a unique and distinctive heredity all to themselves.
Yeah, I'm
now
telling you,
when you start moving to the islands of Cuba and the east coast of Brazil, you start finding traces of African blood in the people, because Mansa Musa and before Mansa Musa, we was trading and intermarrying on that side of the water with the people from Africa. The ones in the central portion of the country, most of us over here that they call them African Americans and Negroes, we was up in the other part, the Louisiana Delta, the Mississippi Delta region, because that was our marshland.
Man, I can show you these same people. I can show you these same people, the Mirror tribe you're talking about. I can show you these same people in the Vietnamese, because Bible said that these people, we sent them back when they came over here. These Hindus, these dragon people, and we sent them back over. These same people, they look like the Japanese, all of them, because they're the same people that they came over here and mixed in. And I bet they're
not the Japanese. Look, you going through strictly phenotype. You're going by the physical appearance. You're not going by the genotype. You're looking at the physical appearance.
When you tell me they extraterrestrial, is what you're saying?
No, they was already here. This is where they organic to this part of the land. We didn't just spring up in Africa and migrate around the world.
I'm with that.
We sprung up all over the world spontaneously. We sprung up out this bitch like a tree.
Yeah. But these people are aging in them.
Now, the blood on the west coast of the United States is admixed with Asians prior to the settlers coming from trading with them for thousands of years and intermarrying.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about from Eskimos all the way down. So these was treaty arrangements when we marry in royal families to diversify the blood. We've been doing it for thousands of years.
Uh-huh.
But the prime root stock of who these people are is its own distinctive stock.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because what you're saying, because of the texture, but the texture of the hair versus the so like these people look just like the Vietnamese and Japanese, but their texture of hair is different. It's more of a woolly ether type hair versus the Japanese. I guess the Japanese that they showing you. But if you go look at the other people that look like the original people of that land, they got sent back. They look just like these people, and they got that same hair texture.
Well, the ones in Japan are
shit. Okay, all right, bro. Let me say this. So these people could be originally from over here, and then they sailed over there. That's what I'm saying. They sailed to Indonesia. They sailed to, because Obama, if you look at the dude that the Sorrento and them look just like these people in Indonesia. And you saying Polynesian and Indonesian, these are the same people. Like
right. That's not, look, listen. The blood type for those groups of people is the same. I'm gonna break that down in another video.
Okay.
This one I wanted to focus more on the Seminole. We're gonna come back to this.
Okay.
Because I gotta explain it to you where you can understand it, but we're taking away from what we was
right. This the one you want. This the one you wanted right here, though.
Yeah. Now look around the back.
Okay.
Now these people, they also had what we call jigaboo art in Mexico, just like they did here. Right? Mm-hmm. Pull up Afro-American postage stamp on Google.
Okay, I got you.
Not Afro-American, Afro-Mexican.
Which one you want?
The one right there that you was at, the green one.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, get these niggas, bro. Hold up, man. Hold on, let me blow this up, man. Oh, they shoot shots at us. They shoot shots at us, man.
No, I'm shooting back right now.
Okay, all right, let's get these niggas. Hey, get these niggas. Hey, your little brother, get these niggas, bro. Get these niggas, man. That's some niggas right there, man. That's some niggas right there. Get them niggas. That's some niggas that jumped me right there, man. You go tell your big brother, get them niggas, Rod, man. Man, look at that, bro. That's crazy. Got an ancient mama market, man. That's crazy.
Wait a minute, I gotta make sure it's a Mexican stamp. Scroll down. Let's see if it got Spanish on it. I can't see that.
It won't let you like as far as it clipped off, but it's
okay. Make sure it's a Mexican one.
Okay, it says right here. It says understanding mimicking. I can't see that; it's too small. Yeah, it's a Mexican one.
No, I think you said you remember swimming and then in your mind.
Yeah, I remember swimming in my mama's womb doing flips off her stomach. What? I remember like being in utero, in amniotic fluid, doing backflips using my mother's inner uterus as a springboard. I remember hearing my mama telling my daddy, "This is gonna be a little badass boy here. He monkey flipping all up and down in my stomach." I can't tell nobody that's insanity to the regular people.
Well, you know, for a lot of people, Brother Rod, though, I used to say this even when I was still preaching, that there's a scripture that talks about, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I ordained you a prophet to the nations. And I think it was Jeremiah. And I always told that was just a prototype for everybody who was, before they were formed, they were known and they had an assignment that they were supposed to fill. I said, but once you make that decision and say, look, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to go down, that man, that woman come together, that spark, then I'm going to inhabit that body that's formed from that. Then I said, you float around for maybe 9 months, because I've had preemies, but 9 months in the amniotic fluid, which I would call amnesia juice. I said, and while you in the amnesia juice, you forget what your assignment is, and so your so-called life.
That's how I discovered how to erase our memory.
Right. So your life is one of trying to remember. He said, when you come into your kingdom, remember me, reconnect me to my purpose, to myself. And was it you who said that the lights they throw in your face are like the white that the men in black do?
Right. Now, look, I thought I was crazy when I first seen this, right? Because I seen them when I came out, I seen the bright lights, and I remember immediately being dumbfounded, what they call blinded by the light, dumbfounded by all these bright ass lights in my face. And it triggered a reaction, and it brought in all my prior births. There was no lights. When I was born before, I was always born to doulas under controlled conditions. This is the first time I was born under the rule of an enemy who was uncontrolled by the conditions, and I wasn't in the ambient lit growing up. But as you get more recall of your past lives, you start remembering this stuff. And I was like, that's the major anomaly. And then I keep hearing people say, don't go into the light. And then I remember, before you born, there's no light to go into. Right? When you die, there's no light to go into. You don't see the light till you come out.
Till you come out of the womb, of the matrix. You come out of the matrix.
Right. So when they saying don't go into the light, those are modern birthing hospital rooms. They saying abort the baby. The baby should abort itself up on birth if you see those lights, because you under the control of the enemy. But they not understanding that these lights is not part of the life-death cycle. When you really fade off, you see from a higher consciousness level everything. You're not blinded with no lights. Ain't no lights. But you see the child being born that you're gonna come back in. You're not coming back immediately when you leave most of the time. But when the child in the future that you're gonna come through is being born, you seeing the life of that child. And you are having options of several timelines that this child should be born on. So when they're telling you don't go into the light, they're saying avoid the birth that you're going to come back into the light. Because if you come back in the light, you know that the enemy is on the other side acting like they doctors.
Wow. Well,
right?
many scholars come into the light.
And the midwife.
Right.
Right. Go back to the warning about the light. Where is it most famous from? Poltergeist.
Yeah. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann, go into the light. There's peace and tranquility in the light. Right? Now, all the time, demons is trying to get Carol Ann, and the witch is telling her to go into the light. Now, flip it in reverse.
So now, let me see. Is your I don't know, your voice is breaking up, and
telling her to go,
yeah, we're getting you like
into the light.
You're breaking up.
While her to go into the light.
Yeah.
Your
sound is breaking.
Your screen.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah, and they're putting it in the, because I can hear you breaking up too, so I'm not sure if
you want me to go out and come back in.
Try that. Just see if we can get a better. Please. Thank you all. Thank you for your patience. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we up in here, 1,200 strong, y'all. Hope y'all pressing that like, giving us the thumbs up. I hope you're sharing. If you don't, at least share it after it's over. But Brother Rod's going to come back in, and I hope you are appreciating this sort of in-depth look into the brother that's been bringing us all of this information here. He's back. Let's hope that the sound is better. All right, Brother Rod, let's see what we got.
We getting the improved?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, from what I'm looking at, you totally black. So the audience should tell me if your screen is black, or if we can see Dr. G.
Okay. Do you all see me? Put a 1 in there. Somebody put a 1 in the chat if you see me. No, I don't. Anybody see me? Did not see any. Can you hear me? Ask you, do you see me? Because I know when we first came on, you were saying you couldn't see me, Brother Robert. I see me. Oh yeah, they see me. They got 1s all in there. Thank you. So
okay.
Believe me, I'm here.
They can see you.
They can see me. They can see you too. Okay. So let's go back to this, because this is so interesting. Let's go back to this birth process and the light and all that, because this is fire, y'all. This is fire.
Right. So go back to when you start
wait a minute. Somebody says we only see me and not you. Wait a minute. If you see Rod, anybody see us both? If you see, you're looking good. So if you see us both, put a 2 in the.
I can see you now, Dr. G.
You see me?
You just came.
All right.
You
probably see me too. Matt. Okay. All right. Somebody said a young guy on TikTok. Where'd I go? Here we go. I'm gonna push this up. You'll see this. A young guy on TikTok using gematria somehow matched Rod Hayes to Lucifer. Said that's a good thing. Well, that means the light.
Hey, look. So the Lucifer effect, right? The Lucifer effect. Don't nobody know what it is, but it's written in all of the occult mysteries. Okay. The Lucifer effect is the ability to be able to read the creation from above and from below simultaneously. That's all it is. It ain't nothing else. Take all that spookism, mysteryism, all that out of it. That means that you just got the ability to see clearly from the spiritual into the physical and vice versa. Okay. It's called mirror flipping. As above, so below. What's written in the stars manifest on the ground if you know how to read them. But if you don't know how to read them, it's gibberish and nonsense. Right.
But okay, so back to you, for anybody that's just tuned in. So you were talking about the birth, your birth, remembering this last birth, because you know that you also talked about seeing other remembering other incarnations and
Yes.
seeing. When do you see future births? At
I'm barred from seeing the future, so I don't change it.
okay, okay.
Right?
So
Because
all you see is
I
past.
change it to anytime I.
Where'd he go, y'all?
Oh, somebody just called me. Dr. G had
Okay.
to go out and come back in.
Y'all stop calling him. He's online. So
Can you hear me clearly?
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you said you would change it if you. Oh, I get why
I
you.
would always change it for the collective to have the most functional future possible. If I could see the future, I
Yeah.
automatically switch the timeline. But then that would be what you call averting the work required to change it correctly, which will cause a wrinkle in time that can't be compensated for.
Well, since we know that like timelines are not not so much as like chronological, but maybe multi-dimensional, or these other lives may be other dimensional lives, just like you talked about, the Mandela effect, or these other lives that you remember, might you be living them out, at the same time? May they be? Are we talking about lives that have literally passed and gone and not connected anymore to what you're doing? Oops, you froze. Can you hear me? I tell you, we talking good and they messing us up. You know what this is? You come in. You know what this is, y'all? Because the knowledge that's being shared is to take away the spookism, is taking away the spookism and the fear that even this kind of stuff, they don't want it to get out because they want to keep us in fear. They don't want us to be in knowing. They don't want us to be able to, go boldly into whatever battles we need to go to, knowing that, we are spirit and, we are souls that live forever. They want you to have that same mentality that we've been indoctrinated with in Christianity. Can you hear me, Rod? I'm just trying to fill
I
in
can hear you. Can
space.
you hear me?
Yes, you froze, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go. Just trying to keep it going.
Yeah. So, one of my past lives being born, I remember in antebellum New Orleans being born, and the room was only lit with candles. The whole room was a whole bunch of candles. That was it. And it had a chandelier. So I know they had lighting. But the chandelier wasn't on, but it was candles all around the room. And it was an elderly, dark-skinned lady and a younger, bright Creole woman that was the doula and the birth maiden. Because you always have to have one with you in training so the knowledge can be shared most effectively by osmosis. This is why we used to use apprenticeships over job training. Because when you do an apprenticeship, you get the hands-on experience from some of the best teachers possible, the experts on the job.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do hands-on training, they just teach you the steps, but they don't teach you how to compensate for little intricacies that come up as problems on the job where you don't have to call a whole army of people to fix it. Right? But she following that principle in the streets today, like if you go to LA,
Why are they freezing you? Can you hear me, Rod?
and you tell them that you a Crip blood, they're gonna say, well, where you put your work in, who your witnesses. That means that all of the chiefs always have a witness to.
Okay, y'all, we having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm sure he'll dial back in. Are you enjoying this? I know you are. I am. I'm absolutely enjoying this interview. So let me see. Where are you, Rod? Nope, you're right. They don't want this information out because it is absolutely critical even to us, our empowerment for us to go to that higher level together, we have to also go to a higher level individually. And when we can get rid of the fear of, here it comes, let me get you back in. There you are. All right.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know what, I mean, you said, I guess this is too powerful.
Well, so
you're
at this
saying
point,
you go to LA by the Crips, and that's what
yeah.
right?
So they always ask you who a witness to your work in order to solidify what your status is on the land. That's different from the mainstream cultural norm. So the culture that we use is somebody always have to be a witness that you about what you say you about, that you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do the way you said you was gonna do it. So they call that a witness to your work. Every step of the way, I'm one of the most scrutinized people when I look back on the history, because I done been under review since I was, look, when my mama used to go to all these different churches and tents and trailer parks and basements, when I remember being an iron baby, and she passed me around to all these old ladies. They be old as hell. Some of them dip snuff, and they be saying, oh yeah, Shady, it's the one right here. I don't know what they talking about, but I can still remember they chatter.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know,
he's like, you've been under evaluation since you came out the gate.
right. And it wasn't until in the last 3 years of doing this work, I realized that I couldn't even be here if somebody didn't conjure me up. I have to be conjured up to come into the physical world by a group of people. One tribe cannot conjure me up. All of the tribes have to agree, because they don't know how I'm gonna behave when they conjure me up. And so they have to put me through cycles of training to temper my temperament so that I can have enough self-control to be useful. Otherwise, I'd be useless to the collective, and I'd be useful to some. We're gonna take questions. So if y'all not gonna ask questions about men in the matriarchy, um, y'all gonna have to catch another time, and I'm gonna exit you out because I want to get this hour in of answering questions more to roles of being in the matriarchy to get more detailed with the information than I was in the last video. So I'm almost to my limit of people I can invite, and then I'm take the first caller. Right. So elevated by C asks, should the matriarch be set up according to craft? The matriarch is set up. Okay, first, matriarchs are established among women. The men don't pick the matriarchs pick each other. And the one who get the most matriarchal support from other matriarchs become the lead matriarch. And her supporters also got supporters. So it's a trickle down. And this what we call a pyramid model for government that overrides this jurisdiction, because the first right to the earth is to the women. And this is why the 5% nation called the women earths. This they shit. The mitochondrial is in the soil, and women control mitochondrial by reaching the love frequency and the angel frequency, which raises the male's mitochondrial in their presence. So the more good women that's around a male, the better of a male he'll be as a man. When that's how he becomes his divine masculine self, by being approved by men and women. Most loved, most respected is the rule. The one that's the most loved and the most respected is the one that the people that's loving and respecting him is pushing for to be their guy in this battle. So I'm gonna take the first caller in right here. The magic touch. That's to me, or motherfucking acupressure system. The magic touch. Hey, look who I got here. You always make me smile when I see you.
You always make me smile when I see you. Do you hear me?
That's what my boy Rashad called reflections.
Oh. I'm glad I caught you because, and I'm not going to hold you. I just wanted to, first of all, thank you so much. You are really heaven sent, for real, for real. And second of all, how are we dealing as women and raising the matriarchy? How are we supposed to deal with these people that even look like us but aren't us, and moving them out? Right.
Y'all only have to weed out the women. Y'all gonna know them. All of them riding crotch bitches, no good. Y'all know them. They can't get along with no woman, no way.
They can't.
Y'all deal with the women. They can't get along with women.
So what if there's no men around though to deal with someone, especially in a workplace situation that affects kids? And that's the only reason I even care, is because and not to even throw this on to people who even watching, because it's a little bit of a trigger, but there was a young woman. We work with people who are 16 to 25-year-old high school dropouts. So this person was within that age range on the younger side. And longest of long story short, she was pregnant and didn't want to say anything because her uncle had been molesting her, and she wasn't sure whose baby it was, her boyfriend's or hers. And she just didn't want to tell the boyfriend that she was pregnant, point blank period, but she wanted the baby, right? So around the person who's coordinating this, the person who's in charge, is just like, oh, well, we can't really do anything. And I'm just like, what you mean we can't do anything? And they're like, well, she don't want to press charges. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. She don't want to press charges, but y'all all know. So y'all like this just like,
what city you in?
You know, I'm in Jersey, in Newark.
It's somebody there. I'll talk to you offline.
Okay.
It's somebody there that they're gonna send some sisters to talk to her to get her sister protection, and then they're gonna deal with the rest of the matter, how they deal with it.
Okay.
But the first thing they want to do is secure her. They want to get her out of this situation where you got some grown ass man molesting her. It's somebody in Newark. There's some goons in Newark. And if they find out, they're gonna